Have some major breaking news that has been announced, and Brennan Butterbean Queen will make his NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series debut at Indianapolis Raceway Park with Spire Motorsports. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. As I just said a second ago, we got some pretty massive and major breaking news this morning, as it has been announced and confirmed that Brennan Butterbean Queen will join Spire Motorsports and make his NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series debut next weekend at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Here's a statement from Spire Motorsports today. Brennan Butterbean Queen to race Spire Motorsports number 07 Chevrolet Silverado at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Defending cars, the late model stock tour champion and current ARCA Menard Series Championship points leader Brennan Butterbean Queen will pilot Spire's Motorsports number 07 Chevrolet Silverado in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series T-Sport 200 at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Bevis Repair will be showcased as the team's primary sponsor. Here's what Brennan Butterbean Queen said about getting this opportunity. I'm very blessed for the opportunity to get back in the Craftsman Truck Series with Spire Motorsports in Chevrolet. Having Bevis Repair Company be part of this means a lot to me because they took a chance on me when I was working at the Port of Virginia and not sure if I would get to go continue racing. It is really neat to see how far we have come in the last couple of years, and hopefully this is the first of many Craftsman NASCAR Truck Series starts. Here's what Alan Hart said about him joining the team and organization. I'm really looking forward to working with Brendan. We have made some gains in the simulator over the past 2 weeks, so I feel confident as we head to IRP. He has been a blast to work with, so we will continue carrying that enthusiasm going forward. This is absolutely a massive, massive opportunity for Brennan Butterbean Queen. There were rumors and speculation early in the offseason that Brennan Butterbean Queen was going to make a start in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series with Spire Motorsports at some point before the end of the year. Now he's getting that chance and opportunity. I have been very high on Brennan Butterbean Queen. I believe so far in 2025 in the ARCA Menard Series, which of course he has driven for the Pinnacle Racing Group, I believe so far this year he has picked up 2 or 3 wins so far this year. He of course won at Daytona International Speedway in one of the worst ARCA races we've ever seen, but at least we got a popular guy picking up the win. He also picked up a win at Kansas and also won in Michigan, so he's won at a lot of high-speed ovals so far this year. He hasn't really good, of course, on the short oval so far this year as well, but not as strong as I think Pinnacle's taking a little bit of step backwards on their short track program compared to like their high speed program where they've been really, really dominant so far this year. This is a great opportunity. Now, I will say with the 07 machine, they have been probably the weakest of the Spire Motorsports trucks so far in 2025, though I will say there's uncertainty around the 77 truck currently at the moment right now. But I think the 07 truck hasn't had the most consistent pace and speed, but if there's anybody that can take that 07 truck maybe to victory lane, it is certainly Brennan. So far, the 07 truck has only scored 1 win so far this year, that of course being with Kyle Larson at Homestead Miami Speedway. He had a really good chance to win in Bristol, finished second, got beat by Chandler Smith straight up at the end of the event. Kyle Busch is kind of struggled in that truck so far this year, and we've also seen guys like Michael McDowell get behind the wheel, not have as much speed in that truck. BJ McLeod's got behind the wheel, had an okay run earlier this year in that truck, but didn't show the most consistent pace and speed, though he did get a top 20 by the end of the race. And then Patrick Emerling, I believe, finished in the top 20 in that truck at North Wilkesboro, if I'm not mistaken, or another race down the road. But I think nonetheless, and we also saw Thomas News, he had a run inside the top 10 with this truck as well. We've seen a lot of other guys get behind the wheel of these trucks. Jordan Taylor in the 7 truck had a really solid run going for he got taken out. And we've seen other drivers get behind the wheel of those trucks throughout the year. I am very high on Brennan Butterbean Queen. I think Brennan is one of the best young talents coming up through the ranks. He's definitely still young enough to be considered a prospect. I think he's like 27 or 28 years old currently at the moment right now. So he's a little bit up there in age in some ways when you look at the prospect side of things. But I think that he is someone who could have a very successful NASCAR career. And what I love about this is the fact you have another short track guy coming in and getting these chances and opportunities. We've seen some short track guys be able to have a lot of success. I think of Lane Riggs, for example. Lane Riggs was a short track guy, came from the Cars Tour, I believe won a championship a couple years ago, and now he's contending for a championship in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. He's been very strong this year, has a win so far, hasn't won more than once, but he's been really consistent with the team over front row, and the only guy this year, I'll admit, that's been as good as Corey Heim. And I look at Josh Berry being the prime example. Josh Berry's risen to the top league and got his first ever NASCAR Cup win earlier this year at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Though he hasn't had the same consistent speed throughout the year, I still think Josh Berry is kind of like the goal for Brennan Queen. And I love that the guys from the short track scene are getting a chance and opportunity to make starts in these events. Now, what are my expectations for the 07 truck that weekend at Indianapolis Raceway Park? Realistically, I actually think Brennan is going to make the best out of this run. I think he actually has an outside chance to go to victory lane. Now, granted, I think Corey Haim's going to be really good. I think Ty Majeski, despite the fact he's had some struggles this year, I think he's going to be really good that weekend. I think that Lane Riggs is going to be really strong. He's been really good in the few times we've ran at the track. And there's some other guys that I think will be good. Roger Cruz had some pretty good speed so far in that 71 truck, especially in recent weeks. I think Raj is going to be really strong. And I think there's some other guys that could be really good, like Gio Rosario, who I think has been a really good rookie so far this year. I know there's also been a lot of talk maybe Brennan can move up next year to the Truck Series, which I think it'd be really cool if Brennan does get that chance and opportunity. But this is an amazing opportunity for Brennan. He's going to an organization that's been having a lot of success at times. They've picked up like 3 or 4 wins so far this year. Of course, we've seen Kyle Busch win with the team so far earlier this year at Atlanta. Carson Hocevar got a win at Kansas. Kyle Larson picked up a win. Raja got a win early in the year. And now I think Brennan's going to try to join the list of drivers who've won with Spire Motorsports this year. A pretty elite class, I will say, if he is able to get it done. It is going to be tough to beat a lot of the likes of those guys in the race, but I think if there's anyone that can come in and step up to the challenge, I think it's Brennan. Again, 3 wins so far in ARCA. I think he's going to win the championship more than likely this year. I think LeVar Scott, who will make his Xfinity Series debut this weekend in Dover, he's putting up some solid numbers, but I think Brennan has been the strongest driver in ARCA so far this year. If he can just get some of those wins on short tracks, I think Venn will have a great chance and opportunity to contend. He should have won that race at Phoenix earlier this year. I still contest that was a BS call with the yellows at the end of the event that cost him a shot at the victory there. But I do think that he will be very good at this event. I think realistically he gets minimum a top 10, and I think he'll have a really good chance also to maybe score a top 5 that weekend as well. Maybe you never know. He could go to victory lane. I think he's that good. I think he's that talented, and I think he's got that potential to be really strong and really good in that event. So again, I expect Brennan to be really good. This is an amazing opportunity nonetheless for Brennan Butterbean Queen, and maybe just maybe, depending on how he does this week in IRP, it could lead to him maybe getting a full-time opportunity with this team and program. I'll have to kind of wait and see what Spire Motorsports plans are going to be for next year. I would have to think Raja might be back in the Truck Series next year in 2026 with Spire. Unknown what they're going to be doing in the rotation, how many trucks exactly they are going to have next year. But I would have to say if they are going to have 2 full-time drivers, I think Brennan would be the first option I would go with, and then Raja would be the first option, and then Brennan Queen would be the second option, because I think you then have the most complete team in your organization. Nonetheless, a great opportunity for Brennan. Good to see he'll get the chance and opportunity to join Spire Motorsports for one race in 2025. Excited to see what he can do next weekend at Indianapolis Raceway Park. So, that is going to take special breaking news report on Brennan Butterbean Queen joining Spire Motorsports. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Notifications on so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's discussion below that and comment your thoughts below on today's video. What are thoughts about Brennan Butterbean Queen making his Craftsman Truck Series debut at IRP? Do you think he'll be a massive threat or contender? Or do you think he'll struggle a little bit with the team? Learn your thoughts in the comments below. If any other major news breaks later today, we'll discuss it live on the channel. More than likely tomorrow, I'm going to have the race picks for the Cup Series and the Xfinity Series races at Dover. Then Thursday, I'll probably have the Cup Series race picks as well. I might be having some sort of silly season thing coming out on Friday, but I'm not entirely sure at this point. And then, of course, on Saturday, with reactions to the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series races. But if we have a lot of news today, we continue having a lot of news break. There may be a news video dropping tomorrow, then I'll still do the picks on Thursday as well. We got a lot of content coming out. People like Haley Deegan, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Cards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Ryan Preece, a lawsuit between 23 and Frombo, because we might be getting a decision on that later this week. Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Cletus Farm, Dodge, Ram, Frankie Muniz, Connor Zos, Jr. Motorsports, Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed, Carson Quaffle, Team Penske, Red Bull, you name it, all the good stuff, Daniel Suarez, and many other things we'll talk about on the channel in the coming days and weeks. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.